So this one is going to be this one's going to be a short one. Let me get my audio ready, rolling here. Sorry, hold on. There we go. All right. So this one's going to be a short one. Don't really have a whole lot planned. This is just going to kind of catch you up on where we are in other podcast world and things that are going to be going on. I got brother Zach Williams, who was going to be on last night, but we rescheduled for tomorrow night. And that's going to be going down. Zach's going to call in, actually, and we'll be doing one of those. We're going to be talking about internet ads, basically like how accurate ads are, as is the thing that I'm going to be bringing to the table. But Zach is always leaning towards the social media on there you go. How you like that? Zach's always leaning towards the social media and its effect on people and how it has a hold on the world. So that's going to be the basis of that talk. But that's going to be happening tomorrow night around 10 o'clock, probably tomorrow night. And so stay tuned for that. Going to be going live then for that. But other than that, tonight is the night that the I Believe, and for those of you not familiar with what I Believe is, I Believe raises money every year and has a pretty big auction, and they auction off a lot of donated items that are of varying monetary worth, if you will, and all the money that they raise, they go out and they buy Christmas presents for all the kids in the Myrtle Beach area, which is a really cool thing, and not a lot of folks do things like this. But every year they get buggies and buggies full of toys and clothes and all kinds of things so that kids who are not able to have Christmas will be able to have a decent Christmas. And we have in recent history donated a gig every year. And this year I think that I might be donating a solo gig rather than the full band deal, but we're going to be doing that's going to be happening. So probably be going to Hot Fish Club later on tonight, and it's going down to Hot Fish Club from 6 to 10. I should have said that beforehand. Today is October the 5th, or December the 5th, not October. Shit, sorry, wrong month. December the 5th, which is Polly's birthday. My little wiener dog named Polly. It was her birthday, December 5th. Anyway, that's going down tonight from 6 to 10 at Hot Fish Club. If you get this and you see it, there's about another hour and a half left. Get all dressed up and get out there and ready to be bidding on a lot of things so we can raise some money to give some kids a pretty good Christmas. Anyway, what else do we got? Got a duo tomorrow night at Dead Dog with Smitty. That's coming up. I think we're going to be doing that from 6:30 to 10 tomorrow night. And then I've got solos the rest of the weekend. Brass Tap on Friday at 8 to 11, I think. And then Strong Water on Saturday in Myrtle Beach from 7 to 10. Both of those. Brass Tap at Market Commons, Strong Water across from Breakers at 21st Avenue right next to the Starbucks. So, anyway, I watched a video today of George W. Bush giving the eulogy at his dad's funeral. And despite how you feel about the guy politically, I teared up pretty good during this eulogy because he was talking about the last thing that his dad said to him. And he talked to him on the phone. Like, as soon as he heard that his dad wasn't doing well, he called him. And whoever answered the phone said, he can hear you, but we don't know if he's got the strength enough to talk. So George W. said, "I love you, Dad," blah, blah, whatever it was he said. And all his dad could get out was, "I love you too." So the last words that George H.W. spoke were, "I love you too." And that is the last words that my granddad ever said to me was, "I love you, boy." Only time he ever said it in his entire life. So I got emotional when I heard George W. talking about it. And I was I was thinking and reading through the comments of this video on Twitter and what a lot of folks are saying, and somebody that I know well, I won't drop his name, but somebody that I know well says, I'm not jumping on the Bush bandwagon just because his dad died. And I get that. But, man, this is like, he was a president of the United States. Whether you give a shit about who the guy was politically or whatnot, I feel that you should have a little respect for the office at least, or the title. And that's pretty ridiculous. It's pretty insane that that some people can't get over the fact that this guy held the highest honor in basically the world for a few years. And I was too young to know what the world was like back then. I really don't know how good he did, how good of a job he did. But the words that were said today that George W. Bush said in the eulogy got me. And I don't know, you should watch that. You should watch his. Only watched part 2 of his eulogy. There was a part 1, but I didn't watch that. Yeah. Anyway, so I wonder what the future holds for our president right now. I started thinking this when I was like, okay, so you should respect the office of the president. I believe you should respect the office. You should respect the title. The job is a difficult thing to do. I think that the office of the presidency should be respected. And I think about what's going to happen in however many years it's going to be when Donald Trump dies. What's the world going to be like then? Because I don't think that there was a president who's been hated as much as Trump in the history of presidents. Now, granted, I'm in the middle of this one, and I'm in the prime of my adult understanding of things. So it just, there could have been a more hated president in history. I just, I don't know. This is the most hated in my lifetime for sure. And I wonder what his funeral and the things that people say about him is going to be like. I wonder if the living presidents will be there. If all living presidents will be there when it's time for him to go. Or, and after everything that he said about Hillary during the campaign and all these dirty things that they said about each other, I wonder if he'll be at Bill's funeral, because it's the whole presidency thing. I wonder how that'll go over. There's a lot of questions that I'm wondering right now, real time, that I never really thought about. Wonder what that all is going to go like. I wonder if people will be able to look back on Donald Trump with respect as the president of the United States outside of his political shit. And I believe the answer is no. And by the way, I'm not saying that I will or will not. I'm literally just presenting the question. So I'm not posting myself up on either side of this. So don't read in any of this, but I'm just wondering. I wonder if people will be able to respect President Trump as the president outside of Donald Trump, the guy. I wonder how that'll go. Curious. And I don't know if it was after or before, but George Bush went down the line, shook everybody's hand from Trump all the way down the line to Bill and Hillary, but he snuck Michelle Obama another piece of candy. I believe it's true. I believe that old W would risk it all. What was that? I'll have to wonder. Oh, that Trump is older than all the other ones? Yeah. I'll have to look back at that, Patrick, and see what it was. I wonder if I can. No, it's not letting me. Oh, Trump is older than Clinton. Not sure who was in better shape for funeral stuff. Yeah. I'm curious. I just wonder. I don't know. I just wonder how that'll go. But I believe that George would risk it all for Michelle Obama. He snuck her another piece of candy. I wonder what the inside joke is on that, because he's always giving her a piece of candy, and it's like it's made it internet famous. Has George Bush been the first one to figure out how to go viral outside of Donald Trump? Donald Trump knows how to go viral. All he's got to do is just open his mouth and say whatever. Just open his mouth. That's all he's got to do. Except Carter, of course. Yeah, you're right, Patrick. All he's got to do is open his mouth, and he's going to go viral. But did George W. figure out a way to play into internet fame now, to where he'll be remembered not by the guy who sent the country to war after 9/11, but the guy who kept sneaking Michelle Obama pieces of candy all those years? And that's great. I think that's fantastic. I love that thought. But going back to the other thing, I noticed a lot of people who I've seen over the years speak negatively online or just in conversation about George W. Bush, about how he's just a dope, he's just dumb, and just ragging on the guy, but have really, been very sympathetic about him losing his father, because this is, in my opinion, this is not a guy who sent the country to war or is just greedy for oil and oil money. This is not, or a guy who sent a lot of innocent men overseas to lose their lives or to take lives of other innocent people. It's not that. It's a guy that we know, that we all know really well. Whether you know him personally or not, you know the guy. It is a human being lost his dad. A human being lost his dad. And there was another thing that went on recently where a guy locally passed away, and somebody who I know well said, "Yeah, I won't be going to that funeral. I won't have anything to do with that, because dying doesn't change the fact that you are an asshole or whatever have you." And I'm like, when do you get to how does that? You're right. Dying doesn't change the fact that somebody is an asshole. But how you respond to them dying and knowing that they were an asshole sort of defines who you are, I believe. And it's a whole different thing when you have personal things with somebody and somebody has done you wrong. And for instance, you guys know how I feel about my family situation. I've not been quiet about that forever. But I mean, if anything were to happen to my mother, my birth mom, I probably wouldn't, go to that funeral or have anything to do with that because of a very awful personal situation that we have that you guys have heard if you're listeners to the podcast, regular listeners rather. But if it's not something that somebody has literally done that to like mentally fuck up your life or to make your life absolutely strenuously more difficult, then I feel like there's a respect to be had for somebody. In other news, Patrick, I see you're still here. I caught up on all of F is for Family, by the way. The scene in F is for Family where Bill and the other little nerd kid is trying to set a booby trap for Jimmy, the big dumb kid that beats him up all the time. And when he whenever the kid gets, Fitzsimmons, when he gets hit by the bus or whatever, the guy, spoilers by the way, when the kid gets hit by the bus, everybody runs away, and Bill's like, "We can't just leave the guy here. He just got hit by a bus." And this is like some straight up compassion from a kid to a person who is a bully to him, who beats the shit out of him every chance that they get. But it's important for this kid to make sure that this guy who beats the shit out of him gets, help that he deserves, because in a situation, doesn't matter what the people did. Yeah, right. It doesn't matter what the people did, right? It matters how you react to a situation when somebody needs help. And not necessarily help, just sympathy. Sometimes proper sympathy is in order. When my name is Jimmy Fitzsimmons, that's right, Patrick. But yeah, whenever somebody is in this situation where they need to feel like maybe that will take a burden off of your shoulder, to where, okay, the thing that you did was pretty shitty towards me, but you lost your life, and now there's a situation that we can't contain. We can't help that. We can't fix this. I think you've suffered enough. I will forgive you of all of my angst or anger towards you. I think that's in order. I think that's people should be forgiven for things like that. Now, in the same breath, I will say that there is probably a 99.9% chance that I will live my entire life without forgiving my mom for the things that she has done. Now, you guys, like I'm not going down that road again, but you know what I've experienced with that situation, and you know what the deal is there. But if it's something that's outside of that, like just something, for instance, I don't want to divulge too much into the situation that I'm actually talking about, as to keep it low key. But if it's just something simple that somebody inconvenienced you, or somebody maybe misexplained something to you and you misunderstood what they said and made a mistake in your own situation to where I've already divulged too much. If it's not a situation to where somebody has literally just hurt your soul and has affected your ability to live a normal everyday life, then I think that death is a reason to forgive somebody, or to just literally just let bygones be bygones. Just everything, don't sweep it under the rug. Just literally just let everything air out and get over all of the anger and bullshit that you had towards said person, because we literally lost a president of the United States. And I'm not sure, but Patrick, are you still here? Hell yeah, we do. Patrick, is H.W. the oldest president that's ever lived? I think he's made it to the oldest, or is it Jimmy Carter? Is it Jimmy Carter? I'm pretty sure that it is. I don't know if any of us made it to what was H.W. 94. Anyway, that's beside the point. But damn it, a president of the United States passed away, and there are people still out there taking jabs at this guy and his family and his son, and I don't know, just watching another president of the United States, George W. Bush 43, watching him give his eulogy on this situation, like, humanized him for me. It took him from being the president who went to war after 9/11, or the guy who announced that the country was under attack. It humanized him and made him a person who just lost his dad. And I think that it's wiser to look at this situation like that rather than to bring the politics into that. And that's what's fucked up with the world right now, because everything has to be political. It doesn't matter if there's a show that you like, or if there's a person that or a musician that you want to listen to, or an artist that you want to follow, or whatever have you. And then you find out that they lean a certain way politically, and you're like, okay, well, I don't like this person anymore. I don't want to drive this vehicle anymore. I don't want to watch this sporting event anymore because it interferes with my politics. Is that not just the most ignorant thing ever? And I'm sorry, I don't want to go into this too heavily, but y'all, Is the kneeling for the anthem or not signing Colin Kaepernick to a contract in Washington when they're just making up bullshit excuses to not sign Colin Kaepernick? I don't get the whole deal behind that because it interferes with your politics. And I'm not here to argue. I'm just saying, right on, Justin. But I'm just saying I don't understand the obsession with politics these days, and why is it that it's now our job to police everyone who feels differently than we do politically? That's just insane. That's right, Justin. They are trying to steal the spotlight. But see, the thing is they're just wanting a reason to tell you how they feel. And that's all this thing is they want to use every situation to explain to you why they feel the way that they do. And I've been that person before, and I realized that I was that person through a lot of people who I literally just pushed away. And I realized that it's not my job to be that person. It's not my job to police the world. It's not my job to make everybody around me a better person. That's just not my job. People are going to do what they're going to do, and there's nothing that I can do about that. But it's also not your job to, if somebody says something differently than what you believe on Facebook, to get in their comments and be like, oh, well, I completely disagree with this and I'll explain why, blah, blah, blah. Some people are putting this thing on Facebook. Let me backtrack a little bit. That might not be the best analogy. If somebody is saying something to you in a conversation, like a one-on-one conversation, and they say something differently than you believe, it might be just best to just say, oh, okay, so you believe that, and just move on with your life. Just know that about that person. You can feel how you want to feel about it, but it might be best to just not say anything about that thing that they believe differently than you, because it's just not your job to fix them. And that's a lesson that it took me a really long time to learn. It's not your job to fix everything around you. It's not your job to make everybody the same person that you think they should be, or the same person that you are. You know, that's not what's important here. I think what's important is to reach common ground with those people, to not find and shine the light on the things that you differ on, but find the things that you both like. Find the things that you guys are the same with, because that's how we progress. If we continuously do what we're doing in this country right now, where everything is all about, okay, well, you feel differently about this thing than I do, so I'm gonna argue with you with no end about this situation until you believe how I believe. But that's not how this shit works. These people are not gonna believe how you believe. That's just not how it works. You might be lucky, and you might get somebody who you see doing something continuously and repeatedly, and you look at them in a serious tone, or if they respect your opinion and say, hey, not to pry into your personal life, but I notice you have this going on and this going on, or whatever. I notice you have this going on. I want to tell you how I feel about that, because we're friends and because I don't want to see you go down this particular road. But other than that, to keep just pounding on this shit, I see people all the time who are just, and it's always the same people. Every time somebody puts something on Facebook, you always see the same people in the comments just arguing with them, just nitpicking, just poking, and just being unagreeable and jerks to everybody around them for no good reason. Like, and what's that gonna fix? If you really want to make people believe what you believe, isn't it better to go about that in a, like a passive way, or not in a way that's not, just passively make people believe how you believe in a passive way. Do it by your life. Exactly, Justin. Let me read this real quick. Yeah, why can't we just focus on the funeral of H.W.? And that's true. Why is this all about the politics now? Like a human has lost their lives. A human's lost their life. They had a good run at it. Had a really good run at it, and you can tell by the things that people say about this person, not the president, not President 41, not Bush 41, but the things that people say about George the man, about the guy who was apparently a great father. I mean, I don't know. I want to like air this out. I don't mind George Bush. I've never minded George Bush. Of course, he's the cartoon character that everybody has made him out to be over the last few years. But I never minded him as a person, and I don't think that he deserves the sort of things that people are putting him through right now, especially in this time. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm gonna air that out and leave that where it is. We're up on the 30-minute mark. I'm going to try to keep this episode pretty short. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about this situation. Don't bring your fucking politics, excuse my language, don't bring your politics into this. Don't bring your politics everywhere you go. Don't wear it like a badge on your shirt. Like don't pull Ravenclaw all the time. Like I love Harry Potter and I love Alabama, and other than the occasional Roll Tide or whatever Harry Potter reference I might make, I don't walk around every day walking up to people saying, "Hey, Roll Tide, do you have a minute to talk about Harry Potter and wands?" I don't do that. And I don't know why it's necessary for me to sit here and get heated about what I don't do. But I think that I feel like I can say to people, don't do this thing, because I don't. I'm not saying that I want people to believe and do the things that I do like I do them, and I'm not trying to go against everything that I've just said, but I want to say that I don't make it a habit to go around and preach about all the things that I have going on in my life as to change everybody else's opinion. And I would really appreciate it if everybody else would extend me and everyone around them the same courtesy. That's all I got for you today, guys. Like I said, the I Believe benefit is going on at Hot Fish Club, and that's from 6 to 10. That starts in a little more than an hour. If I may be making an appearance there, I'm not sure, but that's going to be going on. Like I said in the beginning of the episode, Dead Dog tomorrow night duo with Smitty, 6:30 to 10. Brass Tap at Market Commons solo on Friday, that's 8 to 11. And Strong Water on 21st Avenue in Myrtle Beach from 7 to 10 Saturday solo as well. Come check out those gigs. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, Zach's going to be on tomorrow night. Also, big news in the Sunset Grill world. We're going to be getting brother Jamie Deluxe is going to be coming on and doing a Sunset Grill episode. And if you are familiar with who Jamie Deluxe is at all, I believe it will not be a secret in any aspect as to what that episode will be about. That should be coming to you next Tuesday, but we may be rescheduling that because we haven't done a Sunset Grill in a while, and there's more people involved, so it's a bit more difficult to get more people lined up for this. You know, when you're dealing with three separate people and three separate lives, it's hard to coordinate that. So I think that's going to be going on next Tuesday. I will be sure to update you guys on that through the Sunset Grill page and all that. But in other news, be sure to click subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go follow the Facebook page, MI Stuff on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. You can search MI Stuff on all of the social media aspects, Patreon, Discord, all social media. You can search MI Stuff and you can find our pages. Do that. Follow us on all fronts. I post everything on all fronts. So if you only get one, that's fine, but I would rather you get all of them, just so you know. What else do we got? December is the slowest month for the band and for me personally, so you will be seeing my face a lot on the screen because I'm going to have a shitload more time to be doing podcasts, and I'm very excited that here recently we have been ranked in the top, like pretty much the top 50 with upwards of 100 downloads a day, between 75 and 100 downloads a day over the last couple of weeks, and that is fucking amazing. Excuse my language again. Thank you so much for downloading. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching the YouTube. I would not have been so excited about this stuff if you guys weren't responding to it how you are, and I really appreciate that. So that being said, share all of this stuff with your friends. Share these videos. Let's try to get those numbers even higher. Think I'm somewhere around the 64, 65 subscribers on YouTube right now. Let's get that number to 100, trying to do that. But outside of me being a shill for myself right now, let's see if I have anything else of actual importance to tell you. You know, just be a good person. Don't be a dick. Have some respect for people, and don't be a dick. Be a good person. All right, YouTube people, hang around for a second so that I can do this intro for the audio, and so you can click all the links at the bottom of the page that I'm going to share. So do that, and audio people, go to the YouTube page and check out the video, because there's going to be links to all the things that I'm trying to get you to watch at the end. That, and I love you. I mean it. I do. All right, be good people. Don't be dicks. Go out and put good into the world. I love you. I mean it. Peace, bitches. All right, hold tight, YouTube people. Let's do this intro real quick. Hey, guys, how you living? You doing well? Good. Glad to hear that. So in this episode, I started out, this episode really, I'm thinking back on it now. This one took a wicked turn, didn't it? So I started talking about just some things that I've got going on, like catch you up on all the dates and everything that's going on in the music world. So just stay tuned for all that in a second, audio people. And did that. But then I started talking about, I watched a video on George W. Bush giving the eulogy for H.W. and talked about my feelings on that, and then rambled on a little bit more about all of the a lot of politics and how people are bringing their politics in every conversation and making it just a part of whatever else is going on in their lives. They're all, I don't know. You'll see. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. The thing that I had started watching in the last episode, by the way, that I couldn't remember to tell you guys to watch, was F is for Family. I started watching F is for Family. I completed that series. It is really good. You will dig it. Watch that show. I will tell you again to watch Bumping Mics. Dave Attell is just a wizard, and as is Jeff Ross. Everybody involved in that show is amazing people, and it's so awkward how they'll bring random stand-ups on stage to be there and just be ragged on for a second, or to rag on people, or to try their best stab at roasting somebody. And it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty fun. I can see comedy taking somewhat of a turn in the near future to where you'll be seeing more group shows rather than just single stand-up specials, which I love specials. But I do like the group stuff a little bit too. That's actually kind of fun. I'm not talking about porn, but I could have been. Anyway, so I say at the end of the episode, audio people, but I'm going to catch you in the beginning. Please subscribe in whatever way you're listening to this podcast. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube, the Apple, or the Podomatic, or the Google Play, whichever one it is, please subscribe. I get 75% of my views and listens are from people who are not subscribed to anything. So I ask you to subscribe so that I can get numbers up and be taken more seriously in this podcast community. So that being said, that's my goal, is to be taken more seriously in this thing, because I'm putting a lot of heavy work in it, and I want these small numbers on this screen to resemble the work that I'm putting into it. So if you guys could subscribe to all of the things that I have in the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, YouTube, Apple iTunes, Podomatic, Google Play, Spotify, if I'm not mistaken. By the way, check if I'm on Spotify, because I don't do the Spotify thing, but if you guys do that, check and see if I'm on there, and if I'm not, let me know, because I should be. What else do we got? I think that's all I've got for you in the intro world, so I'm going to go ahead and let you get to the content. Come down to Hot Fish Club for the I Believe. It starts in about an hour, which is 5 o'clock right now, and this is Wednesday, December the 5th. If you hear this later than today, obviously nothing you can do about that, but come down to Hot Fish Club. If you catch this before the 10 o'clock hour, come down to Hot Fish Club, put your name down. I think it's silent auction, all kinds of shit going down, all kinds of things for up for bid, and all this money that we get from this goes to buy children Christmas presents this year who normally wouldn't be able to get that. So it's all for the kids, all for the kids. All right, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, episode number 85 of MI Stuff. Enjoy, motherfuckers. All right, YouTube people, click the links at the bottom of the page, subscribe, click all of these links that I'm going to put up later. If you're watching live, the links aren't there yet, but they will be soon. This is for people who are watching in the future. So click these links. I love you. I mean it. Be good people. Put good energy into the world. It'll come back to you. Trust me. I love you. I mean it. Peace, bitches.